In the heart of Africa, rivers are more than flowing waters. They are living spirits, keepers of secrets, and witnesses to promises that can never be broken. Tonight, I want to take you into one such river tale, one whispered by firelight, told with hushed voices, and feared by every child who dared to play too close to the water's edge. It begins in a village where laughter echoed across the fields, but behind one lonely hut, a woman's tears were carried away by the river. She begged for a child, and the river answered. What she received was not an ordinary child, but a gift wrapped in beauty and shadow, love and fear. A child who belonged to her, and to something else. But here's the chilling truth. In Africa, when something comes from the river, it always returns. Are you ready to hear the story of the river child? If this tale already has you leaning closer, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with friends who love mysterious African folktales. Your support helps us bring more stories from the roots of Africa, dark, magical, and unforgettable, straight to you. Now, let's dive deeper into the river's secrets. In the heart of Africa, where the sun baked the earth golden and the nights hummed with the chorus of insects, there lay a village by the river. Life there was simple, filled with harvest songs, laughter of children chasing goats, and the beat of drums that rolled out into the forest at night. The people thrived because of the river. It gave them fish, quenched their thirst, and blessed their farmlands. But as every villager knew, the river was not just water. It was alive. Elders warned, do not anger the river. Do not whisper your secrets too loudly, for the river listens. And when it gives, it always takes back. Most villagers obeyed these warnings without question. But in one quiet hut near the river's bend lived a woman named Na. She was kind, generous, and hardworking, but her arms were always empty. For many years she longed for a child, watching other women cradle babies against their backs, their huts echoing with lullabies. Na's hut was different. Silent. At first, she told herself to be patient. She prayed. She offered food at the shrine. She carried water from the river faithfully, hoping the spirits would notice her devotion. But as moons passed and seasons changed, her hope dimmed. In the evenings, when other mothers sat by the fires with their children at their feet, Na sat alone, staring at the flames, her heart aching with a loneliness too deep for words. One moonlit night, something in her broke. She rose from her mat and walked barefoot to the riverbank. The air was cool, and the water shimmered under the moon like a sheet of silver. She knelt, dipped her hands into the cold stream, and whispered, "If only I could hold a child of my own. River, if you hear me, give me a daughter." The surface of the river rippled. At first, Na thought it was only the wind. But then, silence. No frogs croaking. No crickets singing. Just stillness. A chill crawled across her skin. She looked up and froze. From the depths of the river, a figure began to rise. She was beautiful, almost too beautiful, her skin glistening like polished shells, her hair flowing like waves in a storm. But her smile was sharp, cruel like the edge of a broken calabash. This was no woman of flesh. This was the mermaid queen, ruler of the river's depths. Her voice was low, echoing like it came from underwater. "You shall have your desire," she said. Na's breath caught. She bowed her head. "A child?" The queen's eyes gleamed. "Yes. But remember, what comes from the water must one day return to the water." Na hesitated. The words felt like chains wrapping around her heart. But her longing was greater than her fear. "Yes," she whispered. The queen's laughter echoed, a sound both beautiful and terrifying, before she sank back beneath the dark water. Na stumbled back to her hut, her heart pounding. Had she truly seen the river queen? Or was it only a dream brought on by her desperation? She lay awake the whole night, listening to the distant murmur of the river. Days passed. Then, one morning, Na felt a stirring within her belly. Her body grew heavy, her steps slower. The women of the village clapped their hands and sang, "Na is with child." At last, the spirits have heard her prayers. Months later, under the same silver moon where she had once cried, Na gave birth to a daughter. She named her Amora. From the very first moment, the child was different. Her eyes shimmered like wet stones, her cry carried an echo that seemed to come from deep within the river itself. Still, The villagers rejoiced. They danced, beat their drums, and celebrated Ene's long-awaited blessing. But not everyone was at ease. Some mothers pulled their children closer when Amora was near. Her eyes, they whispered. They are not like ours. Others shook their heads nervously. Be careful, Ene. The river gives nothing freely. Ene ignored them. She held her daughter tightly and whispered, You are mine. No river, no queen, no spirit will take you from me. But sometimes, in the quiet of the night, she would wake to find Amora staring at the door, as though listening to someone only she could hear. And when Ene carried her child to the river for water, ripples always formed where Amora's reflection fell. The river had answered Ene's prayer. But deep within, she feared the price was yet to come. Amora grew quickly, and with every passing year, her beauty startled the villagers. Her skin shone smooth and clear, her hair glistened as though always damp, and her eyes, those strange, shimmering eyes, seemed to hold the moving depths of the river itself. At first, Ene was too busy with joy to notice the whispers. She bathed Amora, braided her hair, and sang songs to her until the girl laughed and clapped her hands. But the village noticed. Something was not right. The first sign came with water. One morning, a bucket of clear water drawn by Ene turned sour overnight. A bitter smell rose from it, and no one could drink. At first, she thought it was only bad luck. But then it happened again. And again. Whenever Amora's hands touched the water, something changed. Children began to mutter among themselves. She smells of the river. Her voice sounds like an echo. Some swore they saw her standing near the river at midnight, her feet in the water, though she was supposed to be asleep in her mother's hut. Ene tried to laugh it off. Children tell stories. She is just like any other child. But in her heart, unease grew. The unease turned to fear the night Amora woke screaming. Ene rushed to her side, clutching her small body. What is it, my child? Amora's eyes darted wildly, her little chest heaving. Mama, she's calling me again. Who? Ene whispered. The queen, Amora said, her voice trembling. She says I must do her work. She says the river is waiting. Ene's arms tightened around her daughter. She rocked her, whispered prayers, but her hands came away wet as if Amora's skin was sweating water, though the night was dry. Her hair dripped as though she had just risen from the river. Ene lay awake until dawn, her heart pounding with dread. She remembered the mermaid queen's words. What comes from the water must return to the water. And yet, how could she return her child? Amora was hers, flesh and blood, laughter and tears. The villagers' whispers grew louder. Fishermen claimed they saw shadows moving in the river, calling their names. Women swore they heard lullabies floating on the water at night. It is that child, they muttered. She is not one of us. She carries the river in her veins. One evening, as the sun bled into the horizon, a fisherman stumbled into the village shaking with fear. I saw her, he gasped. The child. Amora, she was playing in the river. She rose out of the water, laughing with things I could not see. But when I blinked, she was gone. Ene shouted at him. Lies. My daughter was in her mat all night. But doubt gnawed at her. She rushed home, only to find Amora asleep, her hair dripping wet. Still, Ene refused to give her up. She is mine, she told herself. Mine. But Amora could feel the change. When she played with other children, they ran from her, whispering cruel names, River Child, Water Witch, Mermaid's Daughter. She sat alone, her eyes fixed on the flowing current. Mama, she said once, her voice soft, why don't they like me? Ene swallowed the lump in her throat. Because they are afraid of what they do not understand. But you are my blessing. Amora tried to smile, but her eyes were heavy, as though she carried a secret she could not tell. The river, meanwhile, grew restless. During the dry season, when the waters should have receded, it swelled unnaturally, licking at the banks as though hungry. Some nights, villagers swore they heard a woman's voice singing under the moon, her song both beautiful and terrifying. And always, Amora grew stranger. Her gaze lingered too long on the waves. Her feet seemed drawn to the river's edge, even when Ene begged her to stay away. One night, as lightning cracked across the sky and thunder rolled like drums of war, Amora whispered again in her sleep. She says the storm is coming. She says I must choose. Na wept silently, her hand over her child's heart, which beat in rhythm with the roar of the river outside. The village gathered the next morning, faces grim. The elder, his beard white as salt, pointed to Na. Woman, we have seen enough. This child is not like us. She belongs to the river. If you keep her, disaster will come upon us all. Na's knees trembled, but she stood firm. She is my daughter. She will not be taken. The elder's eyes narrowed. Then prepare yourself, for the river does not ask twice. And with those words, the air in the village grew heavy. Even the children stopped their games, sensing the storm that loomed not in the sky but in the river that had given, and was waiting to take back. The storm came without warning. One moment, the air was thick and still. The next, the river roared like a beast awakened. Waves rose high, slamming against the banks, tearing at the soil. Lightning split the sky, and the village trembled. Men rushed to tie down roofs, women gathered children, but all eyes kept flicking toward the river, as though they already knew why the storm had come. And then, she appeared. From the churning water rose the mermaid queen, her beauty even more terrible than before. Her hair streamed like black waves, her skin glistened with scales that shimmered blue under the lightning. Her voice carried across the storm, louder than thunder. Amora. My daughter. Come to me. The villagers gasped, some dropping to their knees. The elder shouted, give her back to the water before she destroys us all. Na clutched Amora tightly, her arms shaking. No. She is mine. But in Na's arms, Amora's body shivered and shifted. Her legs shimmered, scales spreading like fire across her skin. Her eyes glowed with an unnatural blue light. She whimpered, Mama. I can't stop it. She's pulling me. The river swelled higher, clawing at the village huts. The queen's voice boomed again. You were born of me. The land rejects you. The water is your home. Return, or the village will drown. The villagers screamed, give her back. Save us. Some ran to snatch the child from Na's arms, but Na fell to her knees, clutching Amora like a lioness protecting her cub. Tears streamed down her face. She is not yours. She is mine. I carried her. I fed her. I loved her. No river can take her from me. But even as she spoke, Amora's body twisted painfully. Her cries grew sharper, her small hands clutching her skin as though trying to tear it away. Mama, help me. I don't want to go. And then, something shocking happened. With a scream that split the storm, Amora dug her nails deep into her own skin. She clawed at the scales, tearing them away, blood dripping onto the soaked earth. Each rip was agony, but her voice was steady. I choose the woman who bore me. Not the river that made me. The mermaid queen shrieked, her face twisting with rage. The river rose like a monster, waves towering above the village. For a moment, it seemed everything would be swallowed whole. But Amora's defiance broke the spell. The storm shuddered. The waves faltered. The queen's form flickered, her scream echoing as though pulled backward into the depths. The river crashed down, flooding the banks, then slowly receded, leaving behind silence so deep it rang in every ear. Na collapsed to the ground, cradling her daughter. Amora's skin was pale, stripped raw, but the scales were gone. Only flesh remained, weak, human, trembling. She looked up at her mother with tear-streaked eyes. Mama, I am yours. Na kissed her forehead, sobbing with relief. But the villagers stood frozen, fear etched on their faces. Some muttered, she defied the queen. She will bring curses. Others whispered, she is only a child, perhaps she is free now. The elder shook his head gravely. The river never forgets. It may sleep tonight, but one day, it will return. And so life went on. The river flowed quietly again, carrying fish, watering fields. Amora healed slowly, her laughter returning in time. She played near the huts but never again at the river's edge. Yet Na sometimes woke at night to see ripples forming on the water, even when no wind stirred. Once, on a moonlit evening, she swore she saw a faint figure standing beneath the surface, watching her hut with eyes full of rage and sorrow. The river child had chosen humanity. But the river had not forgiven. And to this day, when mothers warn their children not to wander too close to the water, they whisper of Amora, the girl who clawed herself free from the river's claim, and the queen who still waits beneath the waves. Because in Africa, one truth remains eternal. What comes from the water always longs to return.